Welcome to Geek Tavern Radio.
Welcome to Geek Tavern Radio. My name is Shill. I'm not Dax Hastings, and I'm also joined with
Mike Bundy.
Who is also not Dax Hastings.
Not at all.
This week, we are doing a special episode, probably a shorter one. We are going to talk about Sonic Mania. We are going to talk exclusively about that and what we like about the game, what we dislike about the game, why we think the game's a success, and so on. We have a little bit of history. The both of us, we've been playing Sonic since, what? We were probably 5 years old when we were introduced.
Probably like 1995.
Yeah, you were the first person that showed me this game.
Yep.
The first time I ever played Sonic was on the Sega Genesis at your house. We used to stay up until, like 6 in the morning playing Sonic.
Yeah, your face was literally in the TV.
Glued to the TV.
Yeah, that's why you have glasses to this day.
Probably. I don't know. It's a good possibility. But it was always Sonic 2.
Yep.
We would always play. So I've been a lifelong Sonic fan. I know that you have as well. I've played probably, I don't know, 2/3 of all of the Sonic releases, even the bad ones.
Yeah, you've probably played more than I have. Most of my playtime has been Sonic 2 and a little bit of Sonic 4.
Yeah, Sonic 4 was a lot of fun.
Don't know if I played 3.
So let's start with why do we think that this game specifically is a success? So my big critique of it is I think that a lot of it has to do with nostalgia, which is not a bad thing.
Not at all.
I still play the Pokemon games persistently for probably that reason entirely. All of the games are structured very similarly to the way that they were in the past. And this Sonic Mania game is an entire throwback to the original Sonic games.
I had to ask myself, playing some of these levels, if they were remakes of levels.
Yes.
Like Green Hill, for one.
Green Hill Zone, the first area that you start out in, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that it is almost like the first half of the level is identical.
That's what I thought. I don't know for sure.
I think it is. I'm not positive, and I know that in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, they were very similar to one another. So
yeah,
this
basically the same thing in those, too.
Yeah, so they might be, that beginning part of it might be a direct copy of what they were in the past. But I know that the additions to the levels are so big.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore. I think that has a great deal to do with its success, because I know that in Sonic and Knuckles, in that game originally, you could not find everything there was to find in a single playthrough on those levels. Because of Knuckles' climb ability, you could jump around these levels and fly and glide and all of that, and you would find secrets attached to walls, and you would find the rings for the Chaos Emeralds and all of that. So there was an exploration element to playing as Knuckles, and I think that's why they did that in this game.
Yeah, which I didn't know until we were talking before we were recording. You had to find the rings to get the
Chaos
the specific level, bonus level for the Chaos Emeralds. Side note, I have not lived when it comes to Sonic and Knuckles, so...
Yep. Sonic and Knuckles was definitely one of my favorites. I liked the whole mechanic that you could do with the Sega Genesis, where you took your Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, had a little flap on the top of it, and you could put that into your Sega, and then you could put Sonic 2 on top of
or 3,
Sonic
right?
and Knuckles, Sonic 3 as well.
Yeah.
3, I think you could actually play as Knuckles. I think in 2 they just had... I'm not certain on this, but I think they just had extra levels that were Sonic and Knuckles inspired levels. But when you put Sonic 3 in, you could play Sonic 3 as Knuckles.
Yeah, I didn't even know all that.
But that was ridiculous, because that tower monstrosity, and some of our listeners might even remember this, but like just the sheer fear of knocking your console whenever you were playing that game.
I mean, if you had the third generation of the Genesis, it'd probably topple it over.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That thing was so tall with those two cartridges stacked on top of each other. It was a jumbled up mess. But it was really cool. But I like that in Sonic Mania, you can start the game as playing as Sonic and Tails, or just Sonic, or just Tails, just like Sonic 2. And then you could also choose Knuckles, and you play through the whole playthrough in that. And the multiple save slots are really great, just to get that different exploration and different playthrough styles on those. I know that I haven't started a playthrough. I haven't even played as Sonic because I've been playing as Tails the whole time. I like playing as Tails. Probably just because of that nostalgic factor is that I was always saddled with Player 2 on Genesis.
Well, yeah, and to be fair, it's probably more fun to play as Tails even on Sonic 2 because if you died, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And
On
it
the
still
original,
doesn't matter if you do
too.
2-player.
Yeah. I know that Tails is capable of flying if you keep pressing the A button repetitively, and that's been a real life-saving
Yeah, I think
situation.
when you're playing as Sonic and Tails in the new Sonic Mania, I think it's any of the jump buttons, I think all 4 of them do jump, but if you just hold up or do up and the button at the same time,
Tails will grab you.
Yeah, it calls for Tails basically.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
then
know
you
that
tap
'cause I
it.
haven't done it.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
If you tap it, he'll fly higher. So.
Oh, that's really cool. See, and that's just something, that adds to the levels of success of this game and why people are loving it so much is because of those little things that we are discovering right now.
Yeah.
Talking about while we're recording our podcast that I didn't even know.
Yep.
So, specifically, I think that a real reason why it is a little bit more successful than some of the predecessors before it is because they've moved away from the format that Sonic has recently gotten into. Mm-hmm. The Sonic games, they have been real jumbled messes, in my opinion, ever since the Genesis days. I didn't play Sonic CD. That was one I skipped.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
I did play Sonic Pinball. Sonic Pinball was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. That was on Genesis, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Genesis. What else? What was after that? Sonic Heroes, I think, was the next one I played, but I'm not sure. Sonic Adventure, I didn't play the first. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was a lot of fun. The introduction of Shadow, some people still look at as a very, very negative addition to the series.
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes was a lot of fun. I thought that the story was really good in that, especially the way they incorporated Metal Sonic. But then they moved to, like, Shadow the Hedgehog was a terrible game. Good ideas, story-wise, branching story arcs and things like that. But the level design was not great. Sonic the Hedgehog I think it was for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. It was just called Sonic the Hedgehog, was just terrible. Yeah. And even their throwback to classic graphics with Sonic the Hedgehog 4, with updated graphics, Episode 1 and Episode 2, I just did not like them.
Basically, what Sonic Mania is right now is what Sonic 4 kind of should have been in my mind.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that what Sonic 4 was lacking, Sonic Mania definitely makes up for.
Right.
I will say that I really enjoyed Sonic Generations.
Oh, I love that game.
Sonic Generations was a lot of fun.
I gotta buy that for my collection, actually.
Yeah, that was a definite pickup for the Sonic franchise. I can say that I thoroughly enjoyed that one. But now Sonic Mania, I mean, ever since I picked it up, at a reasonable price point at $20, which
we can
talk about that further along here. But I've been playing that nonstop. It's actually got me pulled away from Splatoon a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I still pick it up with you guys here and there, and I hope that we can get into those league battles soon. But Sonic Mania has been nonstop for me. How's the experience been for you overall?
Well, apparently I'm flying through it compared to everybody else. I'm currently on, I don't even know, but I think I'm on the last world, as I call it.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, yeah. And if people don't know, there's 2 parts to each world, and they actually incorporated a boss fight on each part of the level. The two levels. But I believe I'm on the last world, because the boss fight with the person that should be known as Robotnik.
I was gonna say you better call him Robotnik, because his name is not his name is Eggman Robotnik, but his name is Robotnik. He is Dr. Robotnik. I don't even care.
Yeah, it slightly makes me angry when I hear people call him Mr. Eggman or Dr. Eggman or whatever people call him. But anyway, the
Sega calls him Eggman now.
Yeah, Sega. So anyway, the fight that I'm on is pretty hard. It, to me, resembles what would be the last level, so I think I'm on the last level.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Well, I guess you'll know after you beat it.
Yeah.
I know that I'm much farther behind you, I guess. We were talking a little bit, I think I'm like two or three worlds behind you. I feel like I've been playing this game for a long time.
Yep.
I feel like I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of it, and I will say that these boss encounters have been very unique. I know that I forget what it's called. I think it's called the Oil Ocean Zone or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
I was stuck on that boss for a couple days.
Is that the one where the weird scorpion-looking thing comes shooting up?
Will shoot out of the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that... Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that literally a boss fight from Sonic 2?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's almost an exact encounter from Sonic 2.
Or at least the scorpion spike thing that shoots
it's very
out.
similar. I think the scorpion was from like the chemical plant zone or something.
I think it was in the oil level on Sonic 2.
But yeah, I love those throwbacks. I absolutely love them. And that boss fight was very challenging for me. I just kept falling in the oil and then not being able to hit Robotnik, and it was so frustrating. I sat down and I was like, last night I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I'm gonna play this level, and if I don't beat this, I'll let you play Mario Kart on my Switch, because I'm that frustrated. Like, I don't even want to touch my Switch because of this.
Oh, I've quote unquote rage quit a couple times.
Yeah.
Kind of specifically on that level that I speak of.
Oh, great! I have something to look forward to.
Yeah. It's not a good day. Not a good day at the office at all.
So, boss fight encounters. I'll talk about my favorite one.
Yeah.
Chemical Plant Zone. And it's really early in the game. You get that throwback with the Green Hill Zone, and then you immediately go into the Chemical Plant, which is right second area on Sonic 2.
Right, yeah.
And you get that nostalgic throwback.
At first you think you're playing Sonic 2.
Right. The level starts out almost identically to the Sonic 2 level. But as you progress and you start to fight Robotnik, you actually... the boss encounter for that one in the second zone was a throwback to, what was it, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Green Bean Machine or something. Some crazy title, but it was a Tetris-like game where...
Oh, that, yes,
yeah, the Tetris game. Yep,
yes.
That was my favorite boss encounter.
Oh, that was the best boss fight.
I hope maybe they will. I don't know much about the multiplayer because I haven't played it at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope that is in the multiplayer or gets added to the multiplayer later.
Right.
Like, that was one of my favorite boss encounters, and I would absolutely love to play that game with some of my friends.
You know what? Making plans live on the stream. We should sit down, now that I have the capability of live streaming.
Yep.
And we should do multiplayer.
Yeah, definitely.
Boom.
Yeah, that would be really awesome to do. Sit down and play together. So, some of the stuff that I really liked in those level designs, the Chemical Plant Zone, they had those, they were like a needle that you could jump on, and it shot like that green liquid into the ground, and it made it so that it was like super bouncy.
Oh,
and like when you jumped onto it, it sprung you up so high.
Yeah, it was like Jello or something.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was different.
I really liked that.
Another one on game design is the little tracks, and then you like bounce off of them. I forget what level it is. They're like little pulley systems.
Oh, where you have to like crouch and do the spin,
and you kind of jump
shoot off of it.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I think that was in like the rock levels or something, right? I don't know.
I don't even know.
But yeah, it was a
lot of information.
Really cool, really little cool things that you can do with these abilities that are built into Sonic as a character, or Tails as a character, or Knuckles, because they all have that little spin speed up.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that this game is a very fast-moving game, you run very fast. It's we can have that classic debate over what's a better platformer, Sonic or Mario, but
it's almost like Sonic is made for quote-unquote speed running.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people do,
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. This might pick up as a game that people start to speed run.
Yeah, I'm sure you can set a time on it.
Throwback to those classic graphics, those 8-bit things that we all absolutely love.
Yep.
I will say that I started the game on the D-pad. And then as I started to do like the Chaos Emerald levels, I started using the joypad, like the joystick, a little bit more. But I'm playing the actual game with the joystick now.
Yeah, I haven't tried that.
Which is something that I never really did on platformers. Like when I played Shovel Knight, when I play Mario, any of those.
Mario specifically is a D-pad game.
Yeah, right. But I am now playing Sonic, which I originally started playing as a D-pad game.
It's probably because the game's made today.
Yeah.
And they thought of the joystick itself anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking into that, and I'm playing it with the joystick more. So we'll see what happens as I continue to play through the game, different platformers and stuff.
There's a good level design thing that you don't know about yet because you're not there. That just popped into my head. there's like these little orbs of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you jump on them, you spin around them. And the way the level's designed is you have to jump between them. Like there's an orb here, an orb.
That's like that reminds me a little bit of like Super Mario Galaxy. There were levels in that. I mean, it's a 3D platformer, but there were those mechanics where you would get closer to another planet, and that other planet's gravity would like pull you in.
It's literally that.
Really, that's really awesome. And to do that in a 2D platformer is really incredible and really unique.
And I won't spoil too much more for you on that one.
I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game has just been an absolute treat, and I just cannot believe.
Probably the best $20 I've ever spent in my life.
Yeah, for sure. So like, speaking negatively, just a little bit, because I don't think that, personally, for me, there's not too much that's negative about it, but one zone that I was playing in is a throwback to the area in Sonic 3 where you have to ride on the plane.
Oh, dude.
And if you spin too fast or something, you fall off the plane. If you try to run too fast, you go too fast, you can run into enemies, they'll knock you off the plane.
I previously stated that I rage quit a few times.
Yeah.
This was the level that I rage quit on.
That boss fight probably took me 15 minutes because I was just being so careful.
I'm trying to think what it was.
It was the sandworm. It jumped out of the sand.
Oh, see, I didn't have much trouble with that.
Really?
Yeah, I just started jumping and hitting them.
That one made me rage quit so much because there were times where he would jump and it was like he would jump out at you towards the screen.
Yeah, that's the times I got the more hits.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried hitting him and I couldn't hit him at all.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Yeah, I died on that guy so many times because I would jump at him and I would bounce back, or I would jump at him and he would hit me in the right place. I'd lose all my rings. I'd fall off or something. It was so frustrating to me, and that was a throwback I didn't need.
Yeah,
I didn't need to remember that level.
I think that's a common thread that the more people I talk to or interact with that have played this game. Some boss battles are easy for some people.
Yep.
There's one that me and Dax Hastings were talking about, and he had like no trouble with it, and I was on it forever.
Oh, okay.
And I can't even remember which one that was at this point, but I think that's a common thread with people right now is, some boss battles are easy for some people, and the other ones, aren't.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why that would be. Some people would have certain trouble with things. It's like a Dark Souls mentality.
Right.
Some people love playing that game. I won't pick it up. I won't pick it up at all because of the horror stories of people, breaking their controllers, being so mad at that game. And like, I would never do that. I don't throw my controllers when I get mad at the game, or I don't rage quit that hard. I've read some real critical reviews of Dark Souls online where they talk about just bad level design and bad game design. And
funny side story between me and Dax Hastings, we actually picked Dark Souls 1 up on the same day, and we went home, popped it in. He called me about an hour or 2 hours in, from what I remember, and he's like, I love this game. I'm like, dude, I'm taking this crap back tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's, maybe that's just boils down to the basic reality that some bosses are easier and some play styles can accommodate certain boss fights and others cannot.
Yeah, as far as negatives for me, I don't, other than that nostalgia that we didn't need.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any, real negative things for this game.
So, Sega worked really hard to make sure that this game was something that we as nostalgic players of Sonic would really enjoy. And I think that the more that people talk about how much fun they're having playing this game, especially on the Switch. I know it's available on all consoles, but I'm really enjoying it on the Switch.
Yeah, if you have, like me, I have Xbox, PS4, and Nintendo Switch, and I couldn't imagine actually playing this on a different console than the Switch.
Right.
I think it's perfect for the Switch.
I think it's perfect for
at
portable.
At the $20 price range.
Yep.
It gives you ananother game to pick up that console.
Yep.
Just, I don't know.
I swear we're not paid by Nintendo, I swear.
Yeah, it's in no way, shape, or form at the moment are we paid by Nintendo.
Yeah, for real though. I couldn't imagine I would be having as much fun as I am with this game if I was playing it sitting at home. I think a majority of the time I've played this in handheld mode on my Switch, which, I play my entire console in handheld mode all the time.
Yeah, which is another area where we kind of differ with the system.
But I can pick this game up, play a level, and be done with it. And, continue to do all of the many things that I do in my adult life.
Right.
But that's one of my favorite things, man. I love handheld gaming. I love the Switch. I love Sonic Mania. I'm really enjoying it on there.
Yeah, so I think we could end with giving it a rating. I think we usually go with a 10-point system.
Yeah, 10-point system. So for me, I would have to say that I would give Sonic Mania a 7.5. I love the nostalgia throwback. I absolutely am loving playing these levels over and over again. It's great to have a platformer on my Switch that's something new and something fresh, and there are tons of secrets for me to find with all of the different Chaos Emerald rings, with all of the different checkpoint bonus levels. Those are an absolute delight. So yeah, 7.5. And the negatives, I would say that there were some, those nostalgic things that could have been left in the past, and maybe even, a couple boss fights here where I sat back and didn't know what I was doing that just frustrated me to no end.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, not that 7.5 is a bad rating. I think I'd give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Give another whole point in there. I think this is the exact type of nostalgia that we needed. I think I give it an 8.5 just for the fact the 2.5 that's missing is because of that nostalgia we don't need.
Absolutely.
It might deter some people away from the game, with some of the trouble that I even had, just being a long-time Sonic player. For a kid today to pick up this game, he might just get frustrated with it and be like, what's this crappy $20 game that I just, bought? And so it kind of more goes for people that have played the game, I think, and it's not a perfect game, but it's definitely a good time.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think that a $20 price point really helps. I would like to add to that a little bit. I think that culturally, Mario won the platform.
Yeah. In the long run.
And I think that in today's platforming, a lot of games look to Mario to go for like that level design and those types of things where you're putting the secrets in the levels and so on and so forth. So Sonic is way different than that.
Oh yeah, it's totally different.
And because of Nintendo's success with Mario, people try to emulate that. They try to emulate success instead of Sega's, some of Sega's failures.
Yeah, Mario went 3D in the late 90s, and then Sonic went 3D at I don't know what point.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure, I'm not sure when that came out. 2001, maybe. But I think that was the first. Well, no, Sonic's
CD.
Sonic CD was 3D. And I think that was even before the 64.
Well, that wasn't really 3D in the sense that like Mario 64.
Right.
It was over it was right behind the third person view.
Right.
It was
and
kind
Sonic
of
CD wasn't.
Yeah, it was kind of
top down,
over the shoulder kind of thing. So.
That's true. So yeah, I think Mario won the cultural war, but I think that this title specifically is putting Sega in the right direction.
Right.
I think the success of this is something that they should emulate and they could build on top of. Is this a point for Sega to capitalize on their success? Could we start to see more of those classic throwbacks of Sega titles that have kind of dissipated into what people thought was a failure in the Dreamcast?
Yeah, I kind of thought you were going somewhere else with that. Could we see the return of Vector Man?
I would love to see Vector Man come back. I love Vector Man, which is just a Mega Man ripoff, but it was such a fun game. I would love to see a platformer like Vector Man.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that would be so great. Well, we can jump into what are you buying, what are you selling kind of situation at the end of this episode. So yeah, what are you buying, what are you selling? So for me, other than Sonic Mania, I've played. It's called Mighty Gunvolt. I think I talked to you about it. Yeah,
I have it.
It's a toss to like Mega Man style platformers, And that Vector Man reference is reminds me of that a little bit. And, Mighty Gunvolt had a little bit of success.
Yeah, that thing is just... I mean, I don't dislike it, just really damn hard.
Yeah, it is a really challenging game. But the more you play it, there are a couple levels on there that are easier than the other ones.
The boss fights, what I have
experiments,
with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once you start to beat some of those bosses, you can level up and power up your weapons. And there are actually elements that you can gain to the weapons that will elemental damage that will do more damage to specific bosses.
Which makes me think of a game that we used to play in our childhood as well, called Gunstar Heroes.
I have no idea what that is.
You don't remember that game?
I don't remember Gunstar Heroes.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to have to remind you.
Okay. We'll have to play that sometime.
But what are you selling here?
What am I selling? Let's see. What am I not thrilled about? New Frontier Days.
Oh, boy.
Founding Pioneers. And that was a mistake.
Yeah, that's the worst $10 a person can
that was a mistake. That was a port. I didn't know, but that was a port of a mobile game. And I thought that I was going to have some fun with it because I was looking for something that was like The Sims, like Animal Crossing. Because I have an Animal Crossing itch that needs scratched.
Well,
I need an Animal Crossing. Nintendo, if you're listening, I need an Animal Crossing. But, so I picked that up because I thought that maybe I would enjoy it because I have this void in my life and I wanted to fill it with something, and that was a mistake.
Well, funnily enough, you should say that game, because a certain someone whom I love very much also was like, hey, this is $10. Let me get this.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say she did not get, any satisfaction for her Animal Crossing itch out of this game.
Yep. So what about you? What are you buying? What are you selling?
Well, I always use this segment to talk about games that I've recently picked up. And I'm going to go over 5 games with you.
Okay.
I picked up WWF Warzone.
Oh, wow, that's a throwback.
That's a throwback and a half. And following that game was WWF Attitude. I picked both of those up. You said this game was bad. I don't know. But Mighty Number 9 on the PS4.
It got bad reviews. I think that people expected more from it, and it didn't deliver.
Yeah.
That's what I think Gunvolt picks up a little bit better.
Yeah.
To what people were expecting.
I like the style of animation or whatever.
Yeah.
Better
really
on
cool
Gunvolt.
Yeah.
But then I also picked up Brutal Legend on the Xbox 360, which, if you don't know...
I know Brutal Legend, actually.
Yeah, the main character's Jack Black.
Yeah.
And it's based around a lot of metal music.
Yeah.
You run into Lemmy Kilmister, rest in peace. And, that game's awesome. I'm going to replay that. And then I bought, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but Pokemon Battle...
Revolution.
Revolution, there we go.
Yeah, Pokemon.
I have not played that. I heard it kind of runs like a Coliseum... stadium kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't play that one. It did
It did
and
the
which
same
is
thing.
odd because I'm Pokemon guy. But I'd heard bad things about it. I didn't actually own a Wii.
Yeah.
So I never played Battle Revolution. But a friend of ours is very into Pokemon as well. She told me that that's her favorite.
Really? Okay.
3D Coliseum kind of game.
All right. Well, that gives me some hope.
Yeah. That's her favorite one. She was really hopeful that the Nintendo Switch makes a Pokemon relatively similar to that one. But I just want one that's like... I just want Kanto in Sun and Moon graphics. That's all I want.
Well, what I really want, and this is kind of out of the realm of buy or sell, but whatever. We're just going to rant for a little bit. And what we really need is a modern-day stadium, Pokemon Stadium game.
Yeah, that would be great.
That connects...
The Switch will capitalize on that.
That connects to, our 3DS Pokemon games.
No.
No?
Here's what I think. I think that the Nintendo Switch Pokemon game that they're making
Well, yeah,
will have that included.
Nah.
Because you're just going to be able to battle with 2 Switches right next to each other.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your Pokemon Stadium.
There we go, yeah.
That's your Pokemon Stadium.
That makes a lot of sense.
So there you go. And that's your Joy-Cons, too. You could separate your Joy-Cons, and there's your stadium built right in. You rent a team.
Oh, man,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
right
your
on the
Pokemon
game.
right there. So Nintendo, I need an Animal Crossing, and I need a Pokemon Stadium. Those are my requests.
Yeah.
If you're listening, I know that I don't matter to you, but I would buy them.
So I still got the selling segment, and I'm going to throw it back some more. I don't think I've used this before. If I did, oh well, I'm still selling it. So there was this movie in probably 1997, 96 called Small Soldiers.
Oh, I know Small Soldiers.
Yeah, I love that movie. Tommy Lee Jones plays an evil toy.
Yes, it was fabulous.
Which is amazing. Tommy Lee Jones is amazing. So anyway, I was browsing around our local video game store.
Are you about to tell me that they made a game of that?
On the PlayStation 1 rack, there was a game, Small Soldiers. Let me tell you, leave it on the damn game rack.
Is it as bad as E.T.?
E.T. looks better and plays better than this game does.
Oh, wow.
That might be an extent. That might be over-exaggerating. But,
man.
Yeah, it's a 3D game. I don't remember the character's name. The main good guy toy. It's a third-person game, and you have to use the D-pad.
Okay.
Which is not a big
analog
controls.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Even Crash Bandicoot had analog controls.
Right. Yeah, this was before analog. Well, I think the analog works with it. It's terrible.
Okay.
It's terrible.
It doesn't work well. They didn't know how to...
I'm not going to go into a review of this game.
Right.
Don't buy it.
Don't
buy it. Sell it.
Okay.
If it's on the game shelf, take it up to the counter and tell them you want to trade it in and get money from them for selling it.
That's fabulous. All right. So in closing, Mike Bundy, where can they find you?
Mike Bundy 316 on Twitter and on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter to get switch code, whatever, friend code. Mm-hmm. Any of that stuff, just hit me up.
And you just bought an Elgato too, right?
Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm buying.
Yeah, you're also buying that. You bought that Elgato.
Yeah.
So you're going to be streaming. What's your YouTube code?
My YouTube name is Mike Bundy, with a space. That's it right now.
Mm-hmm. That's where we're going to put your live streams.
Yeah, so that's where my live streams will be.
And hopefully we can put those films on the Geek Tavern.
Yeah, hopefully we can just somehow upload them to Geek Tavern Productions on YouTube
channel as well.
Yep.
I'm Shill. On Twitter, I'm Shill_DS, and that is actually my name on all of my platforms. Sony, Nintendo, all of that. But you guys can follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow Geek Tavern Radio. Make sure you follow Geek Tavern on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube at Geek Tavern Productions, and like us on Facebook at Geek Tavern Productions. This has been Geek Tavern Radio. Happy gaming.
Catch you down the road.